Hey there, CJ Math students. You're taking your Unit 2 test today. I'm going to go ahead and read you through some of the questions. Question number 1, which of the following illustrates the concept of absolute value? Hopefully you remember Mr. Mason yelling something about absolute value and the sign that follows it. Absolute value is the distance away from 0. Number 2, which of the following illustrates the concept of the additive inverse? The additive inverse, again, think about what that concept is. And which one of these is the concept of additive inverse? Only one of them is the correct answer. Number 3, select all that apply. So you have multiple answers for number 3. Which comparisons are true? Negative 10 is less than 10, 8 is less than negative 8, negative 11 is less than negative 14, negative 20 is less than negative 13, negative 12 is less than negative 5. Take a look at your number line. It should help you. The further left we go, the smaller we get. Number 4, which is smaller, the absolute value of negative 10 or negative 11, and why? So you have to work out what the absolute value of negative 10 is, compare it to negative 11, and tell me which one is smaller and why. Which one is more negative and why. Order these values from least to greatest, least at the top to greatest at the bottom. So you want the smallest or most negative at the top and the biggest at the bottom, and then you're going to write them here on this line. You're going to have to work out what the absolute values are. So an absolute value of negative 11, tell me what it is. That's negative 7, you just say it is what it is. The absolute value of negative 6 plus the absolute value of negative 11, tell me what it is. Tell me what the absolute value of negative 6 is. Then trying to order them from least to greatest, so the smallest to the biggest, the most negative to the most positive, and put it on the answer line. Number 6 is an error analysis problem. A 5th grader recently completed the following problem: 1/5 plus 2/3, and he got 3/8. What was the student's error? I'd take a close look at the denominators if I were you. Now please fix the error. So actually solve 1/5 plus 2/3. Put your answer right there and circle it. Number 7, label the type and solve the following. So you have 4 adding or subtracting problems. When you see subtraction, yes, you need to do KCC. Tell me the type. The possible types are SSAK, which is same sign, add, keep, or DSSL for this. So KCC is not a type. You can do KCC, but then it will give you one of those types. Then I want you to put your answer to the problem right here. So the type goes here, the answer goes here. Same thing, label the type and solve the following. The types for multiplying and dividing are SSP, same signs positive, and DSN, different signs negative. So put the type here and the answer here. Use your multiplication chart to make sure you get that stuff right. 25 divided by negative 3, that should say 25 divided by negative 5. Number 9, a student says the following problem's answer will be positive. Is he correct? Explain why or why not. So you have negative 2 times 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 negative 2. You don't have to give him the answer to the problem. You just have to say, will it be positive or negative? He says it's positive. If it's not positive, tell me why he's incorrect. Number 10, a student is concerned that it will be too difficult to find common denominators for the following problem. Should he be worried? What should he do? So he has 35 times 3 over 25 times negative 15 over 9, and he's concerned about finding the common denominator between 25 and 9. Should he worry about it? Think about the operation that we have. What should he do instead? Section 2, computation with addition and subtraction. So basically you just have a whole bunch of problems here that are addition subtraction. Remember, you want to KCC anytime you see subtraction, and then you want to solve. So for instance, number 11, you want to keep, change, and then solve it, right? For number 12, you want to keep, change, and solve it. For number 13, you want to keep, change, and solve it. For number 14, you want to keep, change, and solve it. Make sure you're lining up decimals, right? Don't just put longest number on top. Line up decimals, like 6.74 is bigger than 1.453, right? Label the type when I ask you to. Number 15, maybe think about borrowing there, but after you do keep, change. Number 16, think about splitting your fractions. Keep, change. Think about if you need common denominators. Right? Number 17, evaluate the expression when A equals negative 11, B equals 8, and C equals negative 6. So you're going to plug those into that expression. So A would be negative 11, B would be 8, and C would be negative 6, and then find me the answer. Number 18, looks like a super difficult problem. Let's go ahead and keep, change, keep, change. I would first try and use commutative property and then see if you need to find common denominators or whatever. Number 19 is a word problem. On Monday, the temperature was 22 degrees. On Tuesday, the temperature fell by 8 degrees. Think about what operation fell by 8 degrees is. Then on Wednesday, it rose by 7 degrees. Think about what that is. Write me a addition sentence here and then solve. Number 20. On a number line game, Alexander has reached the number 23. So he's starting at 23. But then he has to go back, going back 10 spaces 4 times in a row. So he has to go back 10 once, go back 10 twice, go back 10 3 times, go back 10 4 times. So figure out what this 4 times going back 10 spaces is. Write me addition sentences with starting at 23. Tell me what space he ends on after he goes back 10 spaces 4 times in a row, starting at 23. We're 21. We're doing multiplication and division through 21 through 26. So tell me the type of problem. It would be very helpful to count the number of negatives you have, and if it's an odd amount, put a negative in your answer. Even out, don't worry about the negatives. 22 is a division problem, so SSP, DSN are the types I'm looking for. Number 23, I would highly recommend rewriting it 9 over 1 times 2 over 3 times 1/5. Think about what you can do when you multiply fractions, and know you don't need common denominators. Number 24, I'd highly recommend rewriting as 1 over 1 divided by 8 over 1, and then think about what you must do when you divide fractions to basically turn it into multiplication. Number 25, you do have to show work, so you have to show me that you flipped these and then match it up with its correct quotient. Number 26, I would hope you would rewrite it as 4 over 1 times 1 over 3 times 6 over 1 times 3 over 1 times 1/4. Count the number of negatives you have to determine whether your answer is positive or negative, and then maybe use commutative property and think about what you can do across stuff when you multiply. 27, you're plugging in, be very careful. It's a -6 that I want you to plug in and a -5 that I want you to plug in, plus there's already a negative there. Number 28, again, plugging in, but this time with division. Think about what it means when numbers are right next to each other. It doesn't just mean if I have a 2 here and a 5 here that's 25. Number 29, you're using order of operations, so you should write down PEMDAS, and you should plug in with parentheses. Again, PEMDAS. Think about how the order of operations works. Maybe keep change here first. Number 31, order of operations, right? Keep change, use PEMDAS. Number 32, you want to match up all the properties. This problem should look very familiar from BuzzMath. Think about the properties we've learned. Number 33 is a word problem. The enrollment at Davis dropped by 60 students over a 5-year period. What was the average yearly drop in enrollment? Average should hopefully tell you what operation you need to use. Number 34, a 5th grader tries to tell you that you always multiply before dividing when doing PEMDAS. Is this 5th grader correct? Why or why not? And finally, tell me which statements are true. You could have multiple answers here. Maybe give me a reason why off to the side. Good luck on your test.